Translation exercises. C and C prime are two circles of respective centers O and O prime having equal radii, and T would be the translation which maps O to O prime. They said that O is translated to O prime, but not the first circle to the second circle. We have to construct the image of A and B by this translation. Keep in mind that the translation T is from O to O prime. So we start at O and finish at O prime. Take this vector as it is, move it to A. A prime would start at the beginning and be on C prime as the end of this translation. Then take this vector down to B. B prime would start at B and end by the end of this vector, so B would be on the circle here. Keeping in mind the same translation from O to O prime, we have to find where D prime originally came from. So the translation is from O to O prime. We have to find where did D prime come from. So we keep the translation, we have to flip it and see where the D prime come from. So D would originally start here, move it all the way to the end of the translation. So D prime originally came from D, which is here. What is then the image of circle C by this translation? So C, if we translate O to O prime, where would the C end up? Since A would be translated to A prime. A prime belongs to C prime and A belongs to C. B belongs to C and its image belongs to C prime. So B belongs to C and B prime belongs to C prime. And D prime, which belongs to C prime, originally came from C. So if we move those 3 points, A, B, D, we would end up with A prime, B prime, D prime, which are points on C prime. So the translation of C would be C prime. Exercise 2. Given the following figure, ABC, A prime, B prime, C prime. We constructed a triangle by moving A to B. Keeping in mind, translation is from A to B. So we start at A and end at B. Which triangle do we obtain? So if we started at A, point A now is now B. Move this translation to C, C becomes B prime. Move the same translation to B, which is the final vertex of triangle ABC. We would end up with A prime. So A became B, C became B prime, and B became A prime. Then the translation of the triangle ABC is the triangle B, B prime, A prime. So A, B, C would be translated to B, A prime, B prime. Another triangle is constructed by changing the translation from A to C. So we start at A and we finish at C. So point A is now point C. Then we move the same translation. C becomes C prime, keeping the same translation for the final vertex, which is B. B is now B prime. So the translation of A, B, C would be the triangle C, C prime, B prime. So A, B, C would be translated to C, B prime, C prime. Why do we have AB parallel to CB prime and why is it equal to? We have to keep the same translation from part 2, which is from A to C. You notice that point A is translated all the way to C, and B is translated all the way to B prime. Then the translation of line AB is now CB prime, and one of the properties of translation implies that the translated lines are parallel to the originals. So the translation of AB, which is CB prime, is parallel. And why are they equal? Since also translation keeps equality. So if AB segment AB is translated to be CB prime, they would be equal. We have to name the image of triangle BA prime, B prime by the translation which moves B to C. So the translation is from B to C. Start at B and end at C. The triangle BA prime, B prime, this triangle have to be translated through this translation T. So this triangle would move till it reaches the end of the translation. Notice that B becomes C, A prime becomes B prime, and B prime becomes C prime. For the triangle to be C, B prime, C prime. So the translated image is C, B prime, C prime.